I posted that last video just a little bit earlier about the story of Abraham and how much faith it must take to like circumcise yourself, right? And then I got to thinking about it more, and I realized that was a massive test, which I knew, but I didn't think about it really in the way from my own perspective, right? And I thought about it like, what would be the craziest thing you could ask a guy to do? Like, right? Like, you would have to be pretty faithful. You'd have to believe in whatever you believed in very, very, very heavily and strongly in order to be willing to do that to yourself. And furthermore, be willing to sacrifice your own son. That sounds wild to me, right? Because like we live in today's day and age where that's not as common as it used to be. That was commonplace at certain points in time throughout history, but not right now, not in mainstream Western society. So all of that made me wonder, like, if that was the test that God put Abraham through and said, you gotta do something that's super uncomfortable, and once you do that, I will understand. What would a modern day version of that be? Like, what could be something so uncomfortable in 2026 that if we went without it, it would be just the absolute worst thing for us in our minds? Because I think that would be the thing that God would want to test you with. Maybe it's social media. Maybe it's phones. Maybe it's something more of the flesh. But either way, I think the idea of the story, and I don't know, like I said, I'm not teaching you, I'm just thinking out loud, wanting to have a conversation. Would you be able to let go of things you need to let go of, even though you don't want to? I think that's where I struggle, because there's definitely things I don't want to let go of. So I mean, I don't think that anybody in 2026 is going to ask me to circumcise myself. But I do feel this insane urge and pull to like get an old flip phone. That way I have no way to be in interacting with any types of the social media platforms. I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but I know it would be very uncomfortable, because me being 33, like I was raised like, the internet became a thing when I was like, I don't know. Well, it was a thing, but in rural Virginia, we didn't have that for a long time. So I'm talking like maybe 2001, 2002, we got our first computer, and I said, oh, this is the internet? I'm not going to go too far into that. Abraham was dedicated, which is also wild that I'm learning about Abraham now at 33, when I was in church my entire youth life, but in the Baptist churches that I was raised in, like I didn't hear anything about that. Like I heard the creation story from Genesis, I heard about Moses and stuff like that from the Old Testament, but none of this stuff about like circumcision and Abraham and like the wildness. My mind is blown, but and I think that's what makes me really excited to keep doing this. So, more videos are going to come as I'm reading this and I have thoughts. Feel free to talk, because that's what I want to do. So if you have something that you want to share, just do that. I'll listen. Be blessed.